Go, take the field, let's go.
Great. The FAU football season starts 1 week from tonight. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll get you everything you need to know about the Owls for the upcoming season.
We're live.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome one and all to our FAU extravaganza, our countdown to kickoff special. I'm Keli Ferguson from ESPN 106.3.
And I'm Paxton Boyd. Over the next 30 minutes, we're getting you set with everything you need to know before the Owls kick off their season against Southern Illinois right at home in Boca Raton next Saturday. We have head coach Charlie Partridge in studio, athletic director Pat Chun, as well as one of the Owls' most important players. We'll also be giving you an inside look at the program and everything the Owls have been able to accomplish this offseason. Which,
of course, culminated in the Owls preseason camp. And what a long month of camp it was as the players battled that South Florida summer heat in and out of two-a-days. The Owls trying to improve off of last season's 3-9 record, and they're ready to go.
I feel something rising with the 2016 group that the kids feel too, and I'm excited about where we're headed.
If you focus where you're at and you maximize each opportunity you have at the end of your off season, at the end of whatever, at the end of your preparation, you're going to be as most prepared as you possibly can.
I believe that we can go all the way this year. That's the whole team's motto, method. That's our mindset.
It's going to be fun because some guys, when the lights come on, they're different players.
Without question, the biggest story out of FAU over the past few days is that the Owls officially have a new starting quarterback. Earlier this week, Jason Driscoll was named the starter for Week 1 against Southern Illinois over redshirt freshman Daniel Parr. The two had been battling basically since the end of last season after Quez Johnson graduated. Driscoll, a redshirt sophomore, appeared in 10 games for the Owls last season, throwing for nearly 1,000 yards, 3 TDs, and 4 interceptions. And just in case you're wondering, yes, Jason is the brother of Jeff Driscoll, former University of Florida and current San Francisco 49ers quarterback. Here's offensive coordinator Travis Trickett on the QB competition.
The good thing about having competition is it makes you better. It doesn't matter what profession or what your position is, competition makes you better. That or you're going to get passed by. And the competition has been thick, it's been heated, but it's also been a healthy competition where they've also become closer. So the only thing you can't buy is experience. The only thing you can't simulate is experience. They got to get that on their own. And but like I said, as far as how they've attacked it, I couldn't be happier.
Now, while Travis Trickett will lead the charge for the offense, the man who will lead the entire team is standing by with our Paxton Boyd. Paxton.
Thanks, Keli. Well, the Owls season opener is less than a week away, and I'm here with the man of the hour, Charlie Partridge, entering his 3rd season at the helm for FAU. And, Coach, you said at Media Day there's a special feeling surrounding this group, this 2016 unit. What do you mean by that, and what exactly is that special feeling?
Well, we've been, when I came here 3 years ago now, the thing that Pat and the president and I all agreed on was that we were going to start from the inside out. We were going to build a culture that could sustain success over a long period of time. And as we go into this season, our culture is in a place where I know that there's great things to come here in the near future.
Speaking of experience, a lot of youth on this team, but a lot of experience to go along with it. I'm sure that had something to do with you naming Jason Driscoll your starting quarterback. What went into the decision-making process, and what does he bring to this team? Well,
there was the competition, like we said earlier, really raged from January on. And we're excited about how both those kids handled the competition. They both competed every single day. But the things we looked at were how they handled game situations, how they handled themselves as leaders, which the quarterback position, as you know, is one of the closest things on the field to being a head coach, and how they carry themselves all the time, how they handle pressure. All those things came into play, and it was a very, very tight battle. I give Daniel Parr a ton of credit for how he handled it, but at this point we know Jason's most ready to play a game.
Now, a lot of personalities on this team, and of course with a new starting quarterback, you have a guy who's going to run it, new offensive scheme being put in place. Travis Trickett is the guy who's going to run it, and what a personality, and what better way to show that off than we mic'd him up during training camp. Let's take a look at that.
You're throwing and catching. You've done it since you were 10 years old. Soft, off, sprint, 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 sprint. Come on, Bobby. Come on, Bobby. Come on, Bobby. Get in there, gas up, right? Get in there, gas up, especially you. You're sweating like I don't know what. Clear the bag, then clear it here. You got me? It'll all be like the old school snake game. Y'all probably too young for that. There you go. There you go. There you go. Here you go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, freshman. Let's go, man. There we go. I love it. I love it. Hey, screen, 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 screen. There you go. Good job right there. Good. Next play. Next play. Next play. Let's go. But when I work up, I want to make sure if I'm here, whatever it is, I tell you, break here, protect the ball up, out and flat, ball up. So then, boom, I'm throwing. Relax, go out there, play ball, make sure we're holding each other to the standard. Hold them to the standard, okay? All right, here we go. Cues on 3. 1, 2, 3, cues.
Coach, that's just a small glimpse of what Trickett brings to the offense and just the team in general. But what made him the obvious fit for that position and to install this new no mercy, no huddle offense?
You know what? I became really keenly aware of Travis when I was at Arkansas and we played against his offense at Samford, and the game plan that he put together, the chess match going back and forth, and then you hear his reputation, and then when you meet him, that energy that just showed on that film, that's what he brings to the office every single day, and that's clearly what a lot of our offensive players are feeding off of. He coaches with confidence, and he's instilling a lot of confidence in our players.
You've heard Coach Trickett talk about it. I've heard yourself mention it a number of times. Getting the players to silence the coaches and getting that challenge across during training camp. How did that go? And explain to us what you mean by silence the coaches.
Well, we've come a long way in that we have some things that are just flat out non-negotiable, something like elite focus, elite effort. And if the players can handle those kind of things, Paxton, then we can focus on the details of their fundamentals, of what we call our combat weapons. And our players have come a long, long way in demanding that effort and demanding that focus out of each other, and that's the kind of stuff that leads to a lot of won games.
Off the field, your team is set to enter this season with the highest GPA in program history. Surely that's got to be something that makes you proud.
I am. It's a sign of a culture shift. We've come along from 2.4 and change to 2.95 this past spring, and it's a sign of things to come, because when kids are handling their business off the field, then we can spend our time focusing on situations and winning games.
All right, Coach. Coming up after the break, we're going to take a look at defensive terror Trey Hendrickson. To do that, we're going to have you toss the break. Trey Hendrickson on the defensive field is... fill in the blank.
Repeat the question, sorry.
Trey Hendrickson on the field is what?
Oh, a terror. Yeah.
We'll have that coming up after the break.
Welcome back to our FAU Countdown to Kickoff special. I'm Keli Ferguson from ESPN 106.3. You know, often a poor record will overshadow incredible individual efforts during the course of a season, and no one knows that better than defensive end Trey Hendrickson. Last season, Hendrickson racked up 13.5 sacks while leading the Owls to 13th in the nation in sacks and 8th in defensive touchdowns. He's already on the Bednarik watch list for this upcoming season. Now, that award, by the way, is given to the best defensive player in the nation. You know, it's been a while since the Owls have entered a season with a star player of this magnitude, and that, as you would imagine, has the entire team excited.
At 6'4" and 270 pounds,
and he will get taken down by Trey Hendrickson.
Senior defensive end Trey Hendrickson is just as intense on the practice field as he is on game day.
I mean, that kid, Trey has no off switch.
Hendrickson gets to him again.
Sometimes a little too intense.
In practice, he's 1,000 miles an hour every rep. And sometimes it's hard for him to pull it back a little bit, which sometimes we need to get our team better. And he doesn't know how to turn it off.
I come out here every day, you know, as if it's my last. You know, it's my senior season. Like I said, I have nothing to hold back for, and I don't want to have any regrets when I hang up the jersey here at FAU.
His nonstop motor, intensity, and the production that has come along with it has led to some pretty lofty comparisons.
You guys might want to try somebody else at right tackle.
Remind you of anyone?
Not working so well right now.
If you're thinking J.J. Watt, you wouldn't be the first. And who would know better than Charlie Partridge? After all, he was Watt's position coach back in his Wisconsin days, and he sees one glaring similarity between the two.
Work ethic. You know, Trey's work ethic. He's a perfectionist to a fault. It bothers him when he loses a rep. That's one of his challenges, is to let that go. But that's the thing I see with those two, is just their work ethic.
Yeah, friends and family will tell me, but, you know, I want to be remembered for Trey Hendrickson.
Right.
So, but it is flattering. He is the best at the position that I'm playing.
And in his conference, as his teammates will tell you,
He is set, and it's Trey Hendrickson.
Trey is the best at the position he is playing.
these tackles, they don't like blocking him every day. You know, he comes out here and it's just instant change, and he's always putting pressure on the quarterback. The quarterbacks don't like it when he's in. Running backs don't like it when he's in. I mean, I don't know who's going to block him.
Thanks a lot, Paxton. You know, nobody likes moving. You have to either hire someone or hopefully find a few friends, preferably one with a truck, buy them pizza, pack, unpack. It's the pits. But in minutes, we'll show you how a few football players help ease the load for hundreds of their fellow classmates. Welcome back to our FAU Countdown to Kickoff special. Now, between practices, meetings, and time in the film room, coaches have spent hours getting the players ready for the physical grind of the season. But it's another coach who's been getting the team ready for the season mentally. Over the past couple of weeks, players and coaches have met with Barbara Schmidt, who partners with FAU's Peace Studies program. Her mission, simple: teach student athletes and coaches the art of meditation. She also brought along with her inspirational speaker, George Mumford. He's actually worked with guys like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant during their careers. Maybe you heard of them. And hopefully, working with these gurus will translate to wins both on and off the field.
They want to win, and they want to be their best, and not just on the field, but they want to be amazing, human beings once they graduate from here. So they really desire that and want that. So me being able to help them see that by staying in the moment, focusing on each play one at a time, letting them go, it's really been beautiful because they're achieving their goals.
All right, now to the man who is the master of meditation, our Paxton Boyd. Paxton.
I don't know all about that, but thanks, Keli. I'm now joined by Owls Athletic Director Pat Chun, and we just took a minute to talk about Barb Schmidt, her importance to the program, and things that she's talked with the team about. But there's also been a number of inspirational speakers as well. Just talk to us about some of the people who have spoken with the team this year, their message to the team, and how often do you guys do things like this?
Well, our focus has always been total student-athlete development, so that's body, mind, and soul at the end of the day. Dick and Barb are special people. Barb specifically, she works with our coaches, our student-athletes, but specific to football, Coach Partridge has a systematic approach to it, a curriculum. We've had CEOs like Jordan Zimmerman speak. A couple weeks ago, we've brought in private speakers that we don't even speak of publicly. So it's the full range based on the time of year, what the message is, but we're at a state with our program right now that the core values are set, the mission is set, the culture is set, so things just to reaffirm the messaging that the coaches want to deliver and really the things that our student athletes have set. But at the end of the day, we're doing the things that Charlie and I have been a part of in championship programs. It's 365 days a year, but there's so much that goes into that. It's more than just what you see on Saturdays.
It's been a crazy off-season, busy training camp. How proud of you are you about some of the things that these guys have been able to accomplish off the field as well as on it?
Well, I think it's what the bar is to be a Florida Atlantic football player now. You serve the community, you serve our university, you serve each other. You're a great teammate, you're a leader. So it's all these intrinsic things that we know will not only help you for the 4 years you're at Florida Atlantic, but the 40 years of the rest of your life. So it's just a part of our total student athlete model of what we're trying to do. And the reality is we're recruiting really good kids that want to do something special here. So it's not like you're pushing and prodding them to do things to be difference makers. It's really, hey guys, these are the opportunities to serve and help. And what Charlie's got to do is decide, all right guys, we might have too many people on this thing. Let's go focus on this thing. But the reality is we got a bunch of good young men that want to make a difference in the community.
Right, and one of my favorite things that you guys do in the community that's actually become a tradition here at FAU is the football players actually helping out the freshmen into their dorms. It's kind of become a, yearly annual tradition, right?
Yeah, I think, you'd have to look this up, but I bet since Coach Partridge has been there, we're the only school in the country that has increased student attendance at college football games for back-to-back years. And I have a full expectation it's going to happen for a third year in a row. And it's simply because, hey, we appreciate our students on campus. They have a wonderful bond with our football coach. They have a wonderful bond with our football team. So it's that one interaction of helping them move in may seem small, but really because the amount of time our football team has to do in class and on the practice field, it's just our way of saying, hey, thank you, and we'll see you out in the stadium these six times this fall.
Right. Now, we were actually able to follow around a couple of those guys as they took a break from the grind of training camp to lend a helping hand.
Today we're helping all the incoming freshmen move, just give an extra hand because, with the way people come, they don't bring a lot of people to help move, and they have a lot of stuff like refrigerators and things like that, a whole bunch of heavy things. So we just come out, take a part out of our day, and just help move whatever they need to help be moved. That's what we do. We usually do a lot of heavy lifting, like microwaves and things like that.
Get you some work. Get you some work. You doing all right today?
It means a lot, just because most people don't have a helping hand, even when coming to college. Sometimes their parents might not even be physically able to help them move in. So with us out here helping move in, I'm pretty sure it means a lot to some people. It shows our character just because, we're in the middle of camp right now, and we could easily just, be going on about our day or relaxing because this is our off time. But instead, we're out here, just helping. It's not a burden to the football team to help our community.
Today we moved in the freshmen, so we all moved in. We helped them out. They needed assistance to move in, and hey, go Owls, man.
Today was a good day. Had practice, helped people move, and we got fed for free. I'm gonna mark this as a win.
That's good stuff. Now, we talked to Coach Partridge earlier. You're set to enter this season with the highest GPA in team history. Certainly, that's got to be something that makes you proud, right?
Absolutely, and it really stems from day one when I met with Coach Partridge, and we talked about the importance of academics for one simple reason: it's about competitive excellence. And he understands, and our student and our football team understands that if you're going to compete, you're going to compete in everything, and it really is the hardest place to compete is in the classroom. So when you see that team put in a 2.9 GPA, our overall student athletes have a 3.05 GPA, it's really a testament to the quality of coaches we have, but the quality of young people that are coming to be a part of Florida Atlantic that want to compete in everything they do: classroom, weight room, practice, and the results are going to be there on Saturdays, I assure you that.
All right, Pat. Well, as always, thank you for your time. Now we're going to toss things back over to Keli, who has some important information fans will need to know before they head to an FAU game this season.
That's right, Paxton. Now, you've likely been seeing it at the bottom of your screen as we've been doing this show, but we wanted to make sure to take the time to run through FAU's full schedule for the upcoming season. Now, as we've mentioned, they kick things off a week from today at home against Southern Illinois. Then it's on to Miami, where the Owls hope to steal one from the Canes as their 3-game series comes to an end. A week later, the Owls head to Manhattan, Kansas for another big game as they take on Kansas State. Then they're back home against Ball State. After that, it's on to conference action. A couple of games that stand out: October 1st at rival FIU, and then they'll host Western Kentucky at home on October 29th. FAU will wrap up its season on the road at Middle Tennessee State on November 26th. One other note of interest is the Owls will not have a single game that begins before 2:30 this season. That way, all of you night owls don't have to suddenly become early birds, puns intended. All right, for ticket options for all 6 home games, head over to FAUsports.com or call 1-866-FAU Owls. Also new this year at FAU home games, there will be a strict bag policy. Small clutch bags, approximately the size of a hand, can be taken into the stadium with a clear plastic bag. Bags that are clear plastic, vinyl, or PVC and do not exceed 12 inches by 6 inches by 12 inches will be okay. A 1-gallon plastic freezer bag is also acceptable. All right, good people, time for us to take a quick break, but hang around because we still have plenty more to get in our Countdown to Kickoff special. When we come back, Paxton catches up with the leader of the FAU defense. Find out why flying high takes on a whole different meaning for this owl.
FLA.com.
Welcome back to our FAU Countdown to Kickoff special. Now, we've heard all about Trey Hendrickson, and rightfully so, but the Owls defense will rely on another less heralded but just as important player in 2016. And as our Paxton Boyd found out, he's a man of many talents.
For FAU middle linebacker Nate Ozdemir, it all started with one phone call.
One of my buddies called me one day. He's like, hey, you want to go to the Bahamas for lunch? And I was like, people do that? That's crazy. I got to get into this.
Ever since then, this owl has been flying high, literally. He even brings his roommate, running back Jay Warren, along for the action.
We go get breakfast in Lake Okeechobee. We go to dinner in the Keys. We go to Naples. I fly back home to Orlando all the time, and it just opens up so many doors that you wouldn't normally have.
Ozdemir is currently working to get his commercial pilot's license. When he graduates, he hopes to serve his country and join the Marine Corps as a fighter pilot.
It's just a calling I've always had. It's a feeling of mine that, as a dominant guy living in this country, I feel like, that's something I need to do.
Ozdemir Ozdemir already comes from a military background, committing to the Naval Academy out of high school. He joined FAU as a walk-on, looking to earn a role with the team.
Coming here with nothing, it let me play with a chip on my shoulder. And I try to constantly keep that chip on my shoulder. Maybe you came out, you see a guy on scholarship, and he may not want it as bad. And, makes me want to take it. Makes me want to take his job that much more.
He is the unquestioned leader in terms of setting the front, making sure the blitz is on the right way, and just getting us lined up and taking charge of the huddle. He's awesome.
Rock Bellantoni trusts Ozdemir enough to run his defense on the field, but as far as taking him up in a plane goes, that's a different story.
There's not a chance I'm getting in an airplane with that guy.
He's just talking. I think I can get him in a plane one of these days.
But still, every job has its perks.
Well, you do get to impress a lot of girls, and it's fun.
Now, just so I don't get you in trouble, the young lady that you did take up is now your girlfriend, right?
Yes, sir.
And earlier this week, you actually just got back from the Keys. You had dinner there, right? Flew out there.
Yeah, I got done with class early on Tuesday, and so I didn't have any classes for the rest of the week, so I headed to the Keys last night for dinner.
All right. What's it been like, just the overall journey from you as a walk-on on this team to a key piece of the defensive unit?
I came in as a walk-on. At first I didn't feel as welcome as I thought I might, and coming from high school, being a big role player to coming out on scout team freshman year, I wasn't thought of highly, so I just came out here and I decided to work and I saw a lot of kids who, I wanted their scholarship better than they did, and so I was on a mission to try and take that from them.
Right. Well, Nate, thanks for joining us tonight. That's going to do it for us tonight on the Countdown to Kickoff special.